In a regulatory filing with the SEC on Monday, Elon Musk officially changed his title at Tesla from CEO to Technoking. If any other CEO were to declare themselves the Technoking of their company, the business world would have a fit. But this is Elon Musk we're talking about. This news came between his millionth pumping of Dogecoin and his announcement that he was auctioning off a tweet about NFTs as an NFT. Suffice it to say, Elon is irreverent. We all know that Elon is a character and we expect him to do the unexpected. This is because his personal brand has become so famous and so well known that he can move markets with his tweets. The name Elon might as well be like Beyonce or Banksy. You don't need to hear a last name to know who they're talking about. Elon's personal brand may be the most valuable thing he can bring to the table at any company because while he may be one of the richest people in the world, the following that he's cultivated is invaluable. And it's no surprise that his companies have benefited greatly from his personal brand. Tesla and SpaceX are Elon's babies. And as such, they've inherited his sense of humor. Tesla's Model S can go plaid, a reference to the movie Spaceballs, and SpaceX's drone ships are named Just Read the Instructions and Of Course I Still Love You. Elon's goofiness has pervaded any traditional stuffy marketing that other car companies or space startups would consider showing to the public and allow his humor and character to become a point of relatability and familiarity for the only trillion-dollar car company. Here's a test. Behind Tesla, the second largest market cap automaker is Toyota. What is the name of the CEO of Toyota? The CEO of Toyota is Akio Toyoda. I bet you didn't know that. I know I didn't know that. His name is Toyota. His personal brand is literally his professional brand, but still Elon Musk and Tesla beat him out. The melding of personal branding with professional branding that Elon has accomplished is truly remarkable. But a personal brand can be a fickle thing. It can be tarnished and disgraced and can be rendered valueless through failures and fiascos. When these companies' professional brandings are so intertwined with the personal branding of their CEO, Technoking, do they have their own voice? Or are they simply puppets? And is their success entirely dependent on the success of their Technoking? Let's find out. Venture capitalist Naval Ravikant says that if you embrace accountability and take business risks under your own name, society will reward you with responsibility, equity, and leverage. He goes on to say that the most accountable people have singular, public, and risky brands. And then he mentions Oprah, Trump, Kanye, and Elon. Having a strong personal brand can give you greater opportunities for wealth creation than somebody who hasn't developed the same. A strong personal brand is built on past successes and is a validator. A successful enough personal brand becomes the only credential necessary to open doors to opportunity. Much of the public's exposure to Elon's personal brand comes from his Twitter feed, which is equally enlightening and entertaining as a view into Elon's quick-moving engineer's mind. Arguably his most famous tweet, the one in which he said he secured funding to take Tesla private at $420 a share, led to the SEC finding Elon guilty of securities fraud and subject to a personal fine of $20 million, as well as another $20 million fine for Tesla. And as if the $40 million in fines wasn't enough, Elon and Tesla's board have been sued by an investor for again committing securities fraud. Last year, Elon tweeted, "Tesla's stock price is too high, IMO," and the company lost $13 billion off their market cap. The investor says that the tweet and others were erratic and violated the terms set by the SEC after they investigated his tweet about taking Tesla private. The suit goes on to name Tesla's board of directors as defendants, saying that their inaction caused the violation of the SEC ruling. So Musk's personal brand endangers not only his own credibility and his company's, but many of the company's stockholders and stakeholders as well. In response to this risk, Tesla's even had to alter how they operate as a business. See, businesses as large as Tesla usually buy something called D&O, which means Directors and Officers Liability Insurance. And this is a type of insurance a company buys to cover legal costs in case the board of directors has to make some ugly decisions regarding a CEO or other officer. If a former officer of a company tries to sue the board for ousting them, for example, D&O covers some or all of the legal costs, and this is all put in place to ensure that the board of directors will operate in a way that won't make them keep, for example, like a toxic officer around for fear of legal or monetary repercussions. When it came time for Tesla to renew their directors and officers' liability insurance, they declined to do so, citing exorbitantly high premiums quoted by insurance companies. The insurance companies are saying, hey, if we've got to cover Elon Musk's liability, we have to be ready for anything. The guy might tweet the end of the world tomorrow, who knows? So without D&O, who guaranteed to cover the cost of legal fees should anything fishy arise? None other than the richest man in the room, Elon Musk. This leads to some really muddy waters surrounding the motivations of the board of directors and Elon. For example, something could arise if the board wants to settle a case out of court. Maybe Elon would rather take it to trial because he might think the result would be less expensive. Now we see the delicate dance that having such a wild, outspoken personal brand as the face of a company can be. Is a personal brand a guaranteed recipe for a company's success? I don't think so. As I've been explaining, it's very important to note the risk that comes with a personal brand. In an era where cancel culture has become a shoot first, ask questions later response to many things, a personal brand that may have taken years to grow can be shot down in less than a day. If there were to be a personal brand highly involved in a professional brand, that person's downfall becomes the company's downfall, no matter how justified it may be. But because of this risk, because of this liability, there's much more upside to a personal brand. When someone has cultivated a rich personal brand, they become the singular focus and recipient of the attention and revenue that their brand gathers for them. Enter the content creator. The creator economy has led to more personal brands than ever. You can find a multitude of creators in any niche making content that you want to see. And the upside of these personal brands has been undeniable for many. You have 16-year-olds with 100 million followers on TikTok. Mr. Beast makes enough money to give away millions of dollars for his content, and a Minecraft channel like Dream has amassed 20 million subscribers in under 2 years. Audiences like seeing people doing what they're passionate about. The authenticity that personal brands offer is a level of relatability that professional brands really can't achieve. I mean, like, how many people can say that they love their bank or something? The enthusiasm and authenticity we see in personal brands is exciting, and we as people react to that. We see ourselves reflected in the brand, or maybe in the case of Elon, we see someone we aspire to be like. So in order to keep doing what they love, these personal brands sell themselves, or at least they sell advertisements that seem like themselves. We're living in an age when the internet has made consumers more discerning and wise than ever. Traditional advertising such as commercials at best is white noise, and at worst they're annoying. We'd much rather listen to a genuine advertisement from a person that we like than a 15-second commercial. As Robert Cialdini writes in his excellent book, Influence, we like to say yes to people that we like. We like people for many reasons, whether we find them attractive or perhaps you see similarities between them and yourself. Scientists have even found that people will develop a liking for others based off of frequent and continued exposure to somebody. So if you see someone's face enough, like Elon's in the news, you might just start liking them because you see them around a lot. So all these personal brands we see in the creator economy and online might be harder to say no to than the professional brands. Every YouTuber on the front page is either sponsored by a product or linking to affiliates in their descriptions or getting a cut somewhere. And that's because their audiences value their personal brands enough and trust their judgment and their word. If the creator aligns with a brand that burns its customers with a botched product release or like an anti-consumer return policy, then that creator's credibility takes a knock with it. But that's the skin in the game. The person's reputation is on the line. As a result, they can attach it to things that will gain them lots of money and influence and opportunity, but in return they can be burned. Naval Ravikant elaborated on his tweet about accountability and went on to say that failure in business won't kill a personal brand. Sometimes that adds to the story. It adds experience. The only thing that can really irreversibly damage a personal brand is an attack on its integrity. This would be something along the lines of a cancellation. But barring the inexcusable, people are very receptive to personal brands. Maybe we all like seeing one of the richest people in the world call himself a Technoking. That seems down to earth and goofy and likable and might even make you want to buy one of the cars that he makes. This is all to say that Elon has walked a fine line with his personal brand, perhaps being too off the wall for some people and entertaining and endearing to others. And honestly, is there any better marketing? They say that no press is bad press, and Elon has grabbed the headlines with each of his moves, from his musician partner Grimes to naming his child after an airplane to hanging out on Joe Rogan's podcast like he's any regular guy, not the richest guy in the world. There are other personal brands that have become married to their professional brands, such as Steve Jobs and Apple and Bill Gates and Microsoft. I think Musk's personal brand is just as enmeshed into his professional brands as these, if not more, considering that Elon already had some fame from being a founder of PayPal before being associated with Tesla and SpaceX. Are the company's professional brands too tightly wound with Elon's? I honestly think they are, and he could be exposing them to some outside risk that other companies don't have to worry about. But up until now, the results have been undeniable, with both brands taking a hold in the public conscience like few others before them. Elon will keep being Elon, and so far, it's worked out for him. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe. Share the video with a friend if you liked it that much. What do you think of Elon's personal brand versus the professional brands of Tesla and SpaceX? Do you think they can be independent of each other? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to click the subscribe button so you see all my future videos about business, money, and influence. And also, please be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Ross_Campoli. I really can't thank you guys enough for your time and for watching my video. And as always, I will see you in the next one.